Hello students, in today's lecture we are proceeding with the first unit of BMS, that is Introduction of Statistics. So let's go with the conceptual clearing of statistics. Statistics is a numerical information or data. In the slide we can see there are two different images. The image at the left hand side, there are just various numbers in a scattered manner, where on the right hand side the numbers when joined with locus we come up with the specific information about data, that it may considered as these are the numbers which shows the growth in specific terms. The terms may be the education or the profit or the population, or n number of variables are there which can be we can consider here for the growth. Okay, so such presentation is the statistics. Now let's go with the definition. When we define the statistic, it is little difficult to compress it, but we can say that it is a comprising of techniques used for collecting, organizing, presenting, analyzing and interpreting the data. Now, according to this meaning or this definition, we can see that there are two major divisions we will consider in this, that is descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Now, what exactly mean by descriptive statistics? Descriptive, that is the data or the information in a statistical form we can describe something to the society. So the descriptive statistics will deal with the collecting, summarizing and simplifying the data, and even it facilitates the understanding and makes the reporting and discussion of data much easier. As we can see the table below this information, such kind of tabulation will gives us some important meaning to our collected data, and we can express in a specific manner to the society. Okay, so whereas in a inferential statistics we can see that the statistics is beyond the description. What exactly mean by, like with this tabulation form we can actually say the particular data in a row and column manner. Okay, but when we convert this row and column manner into a graphical presentation, we can actually make some kind of inferences out of that graphical presentation. So inferential statistics is beyond to description. Even it is used for drawing inferences about totality of observation. Now, totality of observation means when we are talking about the whole population or the universe, like the number of population or the pattern of behavior of the population, such kind of thing will be considered, or such kind of thing will be studied with the help of inferential statistics. As we can see that there is a graphical presentation as we seen in a previous slide. Such graphical presentation are the inferential statistics, where we can see that the growth of a specific variable started at point 11, but after some period there is some downward slope, and after that downward slope due to some changes or the fluctuations in the market or whatever the considerable variable or considerable influence has been done with that variable, the variable is going continuously on a upward side. So there is a first there is a downward slope and then there is a upward slope. Okay, so such kind of graphical presentation or such kind of tabulation presentation will be considered as the statistics. Now we'll go with the definition. Two definitions are really very comprehensive for the statistics, and out of these definition we can find some characteristics of statistic. So let's take a first one. The first definition given by the Bowley, A.L. Bowley, that is, statistics are numerical statements of facts in any department of inquiry placed in relation to each other. Students, Let's focus on that. Let's notice the thing that any department, any that is each and every department need the statistical information. Okay, so with this statistical information, a person can inquire about some data from one department to other department. Okay, the second one is Sechrist, Professor Sechrist. By statistics, we mean aggregate of facts affected to a marked extent by multiplicity of causes, numerically expressed, enumerated or estimated according to reasonable standards of accuracy, collected in a systematic manner for a predetermined purpose and placed in a relation to each other. Like every data, when we can see that we collected data, the data may be in a scattered manner, but when we go with the statistical presentation, we can find out some correlation with the data to each other. Fine. So that's why the statistics is predetermined purpose and placed in a relation to each other. This is the very important thing for the statistic, or very important characteristic of statistics. And due to this correlation to each other, we can find out some substantial output with our data. Okay, now we'll go with the characteristics which we can find out of these definition. The first characteristic is the statistic should be aggregate of facts. Okay, aggregate of facts, that is like we collect data, but definitely as we are a human being, we must have some kind of limitations. So that's why we cannot collect the whole data from each individual or each head. Okay, so what actually we are doing at the time of collection of data, we are actually taking some samples out of this. Like we segregate the whole population in a group, and out of all the groups we just find out the homogeneity in particular groups, and we can take some samples on it. So we are just actually working on an aggregate of facts, not the whole information of fact. Okay, now it should be numerically expressed. Definitely if there is no any numbers in a statistic, there is no use of statistics. It should be affected to a marked extent by multiplicity of causes. Definitely when we are going to study the statistics in a numerical unit, we can find out that there are n number of ways to find out the output of collected data. So it should be the multiplicity of causes, should be enumerated and estimated according to the reasonable standards of accuracy. Definitely what actually we are going to show out of our collected data, this is what just the estimates, not exact information we are going to reveal with the help of statistics, but as far as possible we actually try to maintain the accuracy in the collected data and the results, or in the estimates. It should be collected in a systematic manner. There should be the systematic manner. What we can say, whatever the data we are collecting, the collection of data has some specific methods. Like we are collecting with the specific intervals. Like if I am taking a sample from number 1, so in the next way I'll take the sample from number 3, then number 5, then number 7. That means what, after one or skipping one number, I am collecting that sample. So this is the systematic manner to collect. It should be collected for predetermined purpose. Definitely if I am going to collect some data for the statistical presentation, I have to know what the purpose of that project or what the purpose of that research. Should be placed in relation to each other. Definitely it should be placed in relation to each other. Students, statistics is really important in every field, or we can say the every stream. The statistical based information gives specific standard to the collected data and will help in decision making process. Even we may say that out of the available alternatives, the selection of best alternative is decided on the statistical information. So here we can see some departments or some streams where we need the statistical information. Like in economics, in commerce, banking, auditing and accounting, definitely auditing and accounting is the subject or is the department where the numerical presentation should be in a proper manner, in a systematic manner. So we need the statistics at here, definitely. Even in the education, the natural and social science research work, definitely if we are going to do a research work, we need some numerical presentation for our work. Then only we can be say that our research work is authentic, because we are presenting what we collected in a numerical form with the help of statistical tools. The next is mathematics, then the natural sciences, business and astronomy. As we all know that astronomy is really a very emerging stream for the education, or we can say emerging stream for the occupation also. So astronomy without a statistical presentation, we cannot say that there is a good estimate or there is a success of our purpose in astronomy. So statistics is really important in terms in department of astronomy. Though the importance is really high, or though the importance is all at departmental level, but the statistics has some limitations. Rather we should say these are the inherent limitations, like whatever we can do to improve the statistics or the statistical activity, but still there are limitations which are, we can say, in recent language, that is the inbuilt, okay, or the default one. Yeah. Now we'll go for the first one. Statistics does not deal with the individual item, but of course a single number can be presented as a statistical information to the society. It deals with the quantitative data, but of course if there is a numerical presentation, the data will be in a quantitative manner only. The qualitative data, that is the growth of what we can say, the growth of economy, or the improvement in health, or the increased level of productivity, we cannot measure in a numerical terms. Fine, these terms are the qualitative terms and we cannot measure it in a numerical terms, so we cannot go with the statistical presentation in regards to the qualitative terms. Okay, the statistical laws are true only on averages. If you follow the averages, the laws are true. If you do not follow the averages, if you go for the acute numbers or the complete numbers, you may fall in the statistical output. Statistics do not reveal the entire story. Definitely, if we are taking the averages, that means on the other hand we can say that we are not going for the every corner of the society or every corner of the information. So that's why it is just a gist of the entire story, not the each and every line. Okay, statistic is liable to be misused. Definitely, if the person is very expert in the statistical tools, he can misuse that statistical tool to misguide the society or misguide the other person. It limited use to numerical studies. Definitely, there is a repetition. The laws are not exact. There is again a repetition. The results out of the statistical presentation are not always beyond doubt. Exactly, if you are getting some information in authentic manner, you may not have any kind of doubt about the output, because what actually the collected one and what actually the presented one, it is clearly presented to the society, and that's why the society never take any kind of doubt on it. Statistics, too many methods to study problem. Definitely, various alternatives we are having, various statistical tools we are having for the presentation, for the study of statistics or the statistical analysis. So that's why too many methods may create some kind of problems, may create some kind of chaos in the mind of students. Okay, statistics is a qualitative aspect ignored. Definitely, if it is presenting or it is it may make a stress on the quantitative data, it actually ignore the qualitative aspect. It does not depict entire story of the phenomenon. As I said as I said earlier, the working of data, or the working for the statistical analysis is done on the sample size, so the entire story of phenomena will not be revealed. Now we'll go for the next point from this introduction, that is collection of data. For the purpose of statistical analysis, we can collect data. Now the collection of data is a first step in a statistical investigation, we can see, or it is a foundation of statistical analysis. Like, without collection of data, we may not go for the statistical analysis or statistical presentation. Now in that case, we can collect the data in a two manners, that is primary data and secondary data. As we seen in this images, primary data means the data which we can collect directly from the respondents, and the secondary data, that is the data has been collected from the previously studied research work, like dissertations are there, books are there, some websites are there. So through means these are the sources through which we can collect the data. Now in a described manner, we can go with the first, that is data collection sources. We can collect the primary data collection through interview, like man to man interview, then self administered surveys and questionnaire. Like if we having a particular topic in our mind for the research work, we actually frame a questionnaire according to our hypothesis, or according to our intention, or according to our output, and along with this questionnaire we can go for the surveys. Then the field observation is there, experiments are there, life histories, action research, case studies, diary entries, letters, eyewitness accounts. We all know that in court, if there is any eyewitness related to any case, whatever the eyewitness gives his opinion, or gives his what we can say, what actually he had seen at the time of that event, it is the considerable evidence. Okay, then ethnographic research, personal narratives, and memoirs, that is what we can recall it, or what we are having in our mind in a previous time. Now in the next slide, we can say that we can see the sources of secondary data collection, that is the previous research, mass media products, government reports, web information, historical data, journal articles, biography, research analysis and dissertation, financial sources like profit and loss account, prospectus, inventory, and sales records. So these are the sources of secondary data collection. Now we will see the difference between the primary data and the secondary data. The very first difference between these are primary data is the first time and first hand collected data which not published before, whereas the information already collected previously by others, this is what the secondary data. The next is primary data provide a qualitative data, definitely qualitative and quantitative, even qualitative as well as quantitative, and but secondary data would only provide the quantitative data. Primary data is more reliable than the secondary data. Why? Because it is a first hand information, but the secondary data is less reliable than primary data. It doesn't mean that we cannot have a trust on the secondary data, or the dissertation, or the journal articles, but still whatever we have collected as a secondary data may or may not be help in our research, or in at the time of our research output. Okay, the needs availability of trained investigator to collect data, that's why it is little costlier in case of primary data collection, but there is no any such kind of trained people has to be appointed for the collection of data, so it is comparatively cheaper than the primary data collection method. then it is suitable to meet the object of research. Definitely primary data collection has been done by the researcher when he knows that I have to collect the data on a primary method, because the research work need the preference of primary data collection, but it is not actually a burden or the compel for the secondary data. Comparatively less suitable to meet the object of research, it is what the secondary data's characteristic. Okay, now we'll go for the next slide, that is thank you. So students, if you have any queries regarding these slides or the concepts in this video, so please feel free to ask and ping me on my personal window. Till then, stay safe and stay healthy.